Welcome back to the One Line Away podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Tyler Weber.
And this is Cassie Weber. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about decisions. There are so many decisions that you have to make while walking through infertility. It's involving infertility or your fertility journey or just like life as it goes on. So I feel like this has been very prevalent in our life, is this whole topic about decision making. And there's a lot of pressure. So we wanted to kind of just open the floor about it, talk about it. We like to bring things in real time. So we'll definitely be kind of airing some like real thoughts, real things going on right now. It's not that it's a secret or anything. It's just like, you just don't want to make a wrong move and you don't want outside noise to affect what feels right. Making the decision to go and seek a new clinic was something that was not off the table for us, but it became the only option because our last clinic, our doctor retired. And as you guys know, we definitely talked about that and we've worked through those emotions. And so it was kind of like that new open door that came to us where we had decided to at least have a consultation with a new clinic here. And we did a lot of research. I have some, internal information of just like people in our lives that have personally walked through their journey with this clinic. And it's something that I felt really comfortable with this specific doctor that we chose to entertain opening the store back up. And so we did end up having that meeting, and it was good and it was hard and it left us with many decisions to make afterwards that we are current day working through. I think going into that consultation, I was prepared for only so much. And then, the meeting just kind of took its control where it needed to. And so it was interesting that, we had to walk through every single loss and time frames and things that it was heavy, right? I mean, just walking through everything and just getting the validation that seems to be so hard to get sometimes on the outside scope of things in your life was nice. It was as great as it is to be validated. It also is really hard that that's a reality that you're facing. And so I remember there was a moment in the meeting where she said, like, I'm really concerned about this because it doesn't really make sense. So she definitely threw in a similar stories, similar journeys, and kind of different things that they threw at the wall. But it was very intentional. It wasn't just like, we can just try this, because it was very intentional. So because of that, the action plan that we left with is far more than what we anticipated. And that's just the stuff that I'm still wrapping my head around, is the things that it'll take to even get back into treatment. Like, there's so much that I feel like we have to cross off again. And it just feels like we're having to start all over again with, what's the word? Like,
I'd say like the prep work.
Like, yeah, the preparation to it is so much more. And there's, unfortunately for us, like, so much time has gone by since we've actually done certain procedures or certain testing. And so it's like, you have to redo it all over again. And again, it's like, I appreciate wanting to be able to have zero concern that maybe we should have tested this or should have done that. Like, it definitely feels like this doctor is strict with what she wants done, and she's not going to waver because she knows what's on the line.
I think it's helped, though, that we know the decisions that are coming. When we went into it last time, we didn't know anything. We didn't know how much influence outside decisions from just like, which clinic are we going to? What decisions are we going to have to make in the clinic? Like, our outside of our IVF life, those decisions really made an impact.
Definitely.
And now we're going into this one. Like, when we say there's a lot of prep work, I bet that, people that haven't been down that road before, make sure everything in your normal life, outside of your IVF and your journey with that, is squared away.
As much as you can control.
As much as you can control, because it makes you have a level head going through all the steps and all the other decisions that you have to make. Because when you were just talking about, when we went through the clinic and we went through a consultation and all the stuff they're talking about and everything that we had to tell them, like with our story, and they're like, you just see their face and you're like, oh my gosh.
Been through a lot.
Been through a lot. And
I don't even think that's really prepared us for what's to come. It's like, this just feels like what we know. It's like, all I want, like sometimes all you want is just answers. But then once you get those answers, it's like, oh, okay, here we go. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I feel like this consultation was so thorough, which I so appreciate. But, we didn't leave. Like, you don't leave your consultation being like, oh my gosh, like, yay, like, we're like, this is going to be over soon. It's this is, quote unquote, for us, it's worse than what we anticipated. Worse meaning there's so much more on the line, and there's so much more that we didn't know would be on the table to have to do to prepare for. So it just means more money, more time, more
stress.
Yeah, there's just so much to it. And so because of that, it makes you really have to stand by exactly what Tyler's saying, is make sure to align everything that you possibly can in your life so that you can go through this and into this with as much level-headedness as you can. There's things in our journey that literally we had that and did that and prepared that way, and things still crashed and burned because it was out of our control. Mm-hmm. There's really, really hard things that we've both been through within our infertility journey that have clearly affected everything and affected our treatment. And so I think that if you look at that in the way that we are now, it's like we are having to make decisions that better align with what's to come. And that doesn't mean that that's easy. Mm-hmm.
You don't want to have that after your cycle, or when it's cycle day and you get some news, like you want to make sure that you're 100% in.
Yeah.
And not your heart's 90% in and your body's 20%. You want to make sure that when you're there and you look back on it, whether it was a success or a fail, you want to make sure that you had no regrets during that time, or being like, man, I really wish I wouldn't have had this on my mind or this on my plate during that whole time. Yeah. Like, you just want to make sure that you're ready.
Yep. I totally agree.
Because we've had that, like on our first second transfer. We had that where we were like, well, all that money, all that time, all that energy spent, and I feel like it was kind of just ruined because of one instance. And it's
because of what, but it wasn't just an instance. It was a life-changing, outside noise that directly affected.
Yeah.
The timing of I was on bed rest, mm-hmm. and also it brought in extremely negative and stressful things in our life. Mm-hmm. And we look at that going, oh my gosh, did that have something to do with the fail? And that's something we can never answer. And we can't continue to go back and change it, because who really knows? But it's just like one of those things where it's like, I feel like with what we did experience, it does help us going into this next someday of dealing with outside noise and how to better control what we can control. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's kind of been the latest and greatest. We have been sitting on this for a while. It's just hard because you just want things to be done. You want to be able to just get things done, do things. We definitely left that consultation with so many different emotions, and it's going to be even harder than what we've done before. Like, mm-hmm. There's so much more to it, and there's things that we weren't prepared for that, are, double, triple what we could have anticipated. And so because of that, we're just trying to deal with it step by step.
Trying to get prepped.
Yeah. So as we move into so much of what we have to continue on from what we just talked about, just with our personal update, this first part is the decisions along your infertility journey. And the pressure of choosing the right path has been something that's shaken us, because we've just had, with us being that case that's been worst case scenario, we've had to just train our mind, train our heart into believing that the choices and decisions that we've made up until this point have been what have truly felt like the right decision at that time. Because as you can just kind of set yourself up for spiraling is the coulda, shoulda, woulda, whatever. And then you can dip your toes into, like, we're kind of sitting on this side of things where it's like the fatigue of making decisions, like feeling like you're moving at sloth pace, whether that's like by choice or not. It's like that fatigue to make that decision. It's uncertain, right? Like this whole path is so uncertain. And because of that, we are so different from the versions that we were in the first transfer, or just really anything in the beginning, to now, where we're like deep in that sand trap, and we really don't have any extra special secrets or things that we, as of right now, can do differently to give us a better chance, other than
keep trying.
Yeah, like the time, the healing, the mind, body, soul stuff. Like, for us, you can't fix our past, and you can't erase it either. And
Never.
so I do feel like that, just when we talk about it with our personal experience, we do sit on that side of like decision fatigue.
Yeah, we do, but I think we've came up with a good plan recently, and it's not just with IVF stuff, it's with everything, whether or not we're going to throw away our camper. It's just a big thing of like, sleep on it. Which has been kind of cool, actually, because it's just,
we've dealt with this better.
We dealt with a lot of decisions, because there is a lot, and we're not going to sit here and list every single decision, because
we'd be here all day.
But there's like big things where it's just, you're heated about it, or one person's very passionate, one person's like, I don't know, it's whatever, it is what it is. Or, you're both heated about it. It's sleep on it, wake up in the morning, say good morning, and get into it. And we've done that, like I said, over the last couple of weeks. So just simple life things. Yeah.
I think it's hard because you have to make, like, with an infertility journey such as ours, there's so much, like, it's like, it almost feels meticulous. Like, you have to, it feels like we're in a chess game. It's very strategized, and it has to be, because as you go farther in and deeper in, everything gets riskier and harder, and more is at stake. And we've said that before. And so it just, with decisions, it's not just about whether or not you're going to go on letrozole or Clomid. It's like, you have to decide if what you are doing in your life is aligning with everything you feel like you need to support the best potential in wanting to grow your family. And for us,
I feel like you said chess game. I like that analogy, but it's a chess game that replays
over
and over.
Yeah.
Right? Like our first cycle, that was one chess game.
Yeah.
Or like our first IVF go was, okay, that was our first one.
Yeah.
Okay, then we had our IUI, that was a go.
Different matches.
Yeah, like it's just, it's different. It's like the same. Yeah, it is a chess game, and you're trying to figure it out and win it, but winning is getting a baby.
Yeah. And we
obviously haven't won that, so we've lost a lot of games here.
Yeah.
If we're talking wins and losses, which I don't know why I laughed about that. Sounds bad.
Well, but sometimes you have to.
Yeah. But I do like that analogy a lot. It's a chess game of infertility.
Because it's so like thorough. Like I feel like with like we're not any type of chess connoisseur, so we're taking this from literally nothing.
I'm
but
not
it's
very
like
good. I'm
no.
good. I like chess, but I'm not very good.
But I think when you think about just in general with like the game of chess, like it's very articulated and it's very thorough. And it's also like I think about even like that TV series. I forget what it's called.
Oh, the Queen's Gambit or something?
Yeah, that one. Like I think about when you have to press that clock and how fast you're going and like all that. And it's like that clock is that infertility clock. Like this is crazy because it's like I'm thinking about this and this is a whole new analogy.
Watch our new merch sale. It's just all chess pieces.
But isn't that so true? It's like this clock is ticking, and it's back and forth, back and forth.
Well, you just put a lot of it is you put your trust in the doctors because they're like, I think this would be best. So you're like, this is going to be it. Here's a decision. Boom. You push the clock back down. And then, after you go down through the cycle of everything. And then
sometimes you're scared to like press it, like I just like it's like you want to make that move and then you're scared to press.
Yeah. Or you get called the night before, what is it? 3 nights, a week before, whatever it was, when we talked to him about doing 2 embryos and it was a huge old ordeal and it was a back and forth press the timer on the chess clock. Like, wow, now I'm never going to look at chess the same.
I know. A lot of things get ruined with your infertility journey because so much is relatable. So much like makes sense, I think too, something really, really big that I feel like my sister has been really more loud in like me being able to separate things are these decisions that you're making based on emotional decisions or mental decisions, realistic decisions. And there's totally a separation in that, right? Like sometimes I will preface like, okay, this choice or decision that we're dealing with or whatever it is, it's coming from an emotional standpoint, which can sometimes be a little rocky for me, especially like if I do anything in an emotional attack or however you want to word it, that's where things can get a little bit cloudy. And then you can go with like the more analytical, more black and white, where you can write it down on paper and really discuss and go through that. We've definitely dealt with and we'll continue to deal with both sides of that. And some are for and some are against you in that time of whatever you're having to make a decision on, But yeah, it's the first is medical. Like there's medical decisions that you have to make. And then there's the mental / emotional decisions that you go through. And then, there's relational too. There's been things within our journey, being 4 years plus in now, that sometimes you have to make decisions that affect your relationships with your friends or your family or your people that are in your day-to-day life that ultimately affect how you continue with that relationship or don't.
Yeah.
And those are hard. That's a really hard part about a journey like this is we've both met our match in having to make very difficult decisions that you just never thought you'd have to come to.
I think in the end you have to think like what's going to be best for me. You have to think like how is this going to if I do this, how is it going to affect me? If I do this, how is it going to affect me? Is it better or is it worse?
Yeah.
Is it going to stay the same? Is it going to make it easier, harder, while I go down this? And I think that's huge things that you have to think of in regards to the decisions, with relationship wise or even prepping. Like a lot of that is when you're prepping, if you can make a decision that's going to benefit you while you're starting to go down this journey and make your life easier
or restarting it,
then
do it.
Yeah. It's one of those,
and that's not to make that sound easier said than done, because we've walked that. I mean,
don't get me wrong, but I think once you have that realization, once you have that go through your mind of, this will make life easier, okay, I've thought about this.
It feels right.
I've thought about this situation. It sounds scary. It always is going to sound scary, but it needs to happen in order for me to be able to have the best result that I want.
And I think that you also, if any one of you are tuning into this episode or when you do, you have to allow yourself the acknowledgement and also the acceptance that you're not going to do it all right. There will be things that feel right or seem right, but maybe something behind, that door or the other door that you go down. And so I think that that's something, again, that we've had to stand by, is you will make so many mistakes in your journey, but you're human, I don't know how else to word it. Like, you are human. And I think that something that's so important to acknowledge as well is this isn't just something that you're throwing whatever at the wall to. This journey is a journey, no matter if it's 1 year, 4 years, 10 years, whatever it is. It's not just willy-nilly. This is things that shape your life, change your life, affect your life, and your dreams and everything that you want in your life. And we have dedicated our desire to everything in and around us. And we don't get that time back. We don't get this time back. And so that's how important this is. And so I feel like some people need to understand or help with the validation that, like, this is how serious this is. A lot of people don't have to deal with this. And of course, you don't hope that anyone does. But it's the other side of, what about us? Mm-hmm. What about the ones that are and do, or the ones that, get forgotten into it because they're just still hanging on by a thread? Lifestyle decisions are so hard. Ugh. In the beginning, we for sure were more strict and more severe with what we took away or added in. And there's so much conversation around that. I hated
those conversations.
They're so hard. It's not just like what supplements you take, or if you do acupuncture, if you don't, or if you stop drinking during a certain part of your cycle, or you just cut willy-nilly, and then having to have those conversations with people in your life and how that affects you, right? Like, lifestyle decisions during infertility is hard because that's where some punishment can come into. That could be your diet. That could be, everything that we just said. When we talk about this whole noise, the inner and external noise that you deal with during this journey, it definitely affects decisions. And that can come from, just straight up medical doctors or family, societal things. And it's something that I still struggle with, right? Because I am always battling like the letting go control, but also trusting doctors. And I think that you have to find a good fit in what you're prepping or going into in your journey. And because of that, I think that's why, like, with whatever we end up going, like with what we have planned so far to prepare for, we're going about it in such a different way. And again, that doesn't affect or change how the outcome will be, but it will help whether or not it goes through our way or not, how the other side looks like for us. Mm-hmm. And so even with like family, I think we would attack things differently than what we've done in the past. We made decisions at the time that felt right, but the consequences on the outside have been so much harder to recover from with that. And so we're definitely, it's like you just sometimes have to try, even if it's like a little tiptoe. It's worth entertaining that if that's what feels right for you. And so that's why I think we've been more open in the flesh and in current day things of like what we're doing and working through, because that's what feels right now. And then, with societal stuff, it's just so hard because everyone has an opinion or everyone has an intention, and sometimes they're good and sometimes they're bad. And sometimes maybe it's just without even knowing it, but that's why we have worked so hard on ourselves and then focusing on continuing to protect what we feel is necessary as of right now.
Yeah, I mean, with societal, it's hard because everyone, like you said, everyone's got an opinion, but everyone's story is so different.
Yeah.
Right? There may be someone that has like the same circumstance that you had, but the whole story is just so different. So there's just so many different things that people are like, you have to do this, you have to do this, and it's like, okay, I get it. And
there was a point where I would do whatever. Yeah. Because one, I was like, well, it doesn't hurt, so why not? But then it's one of those things where like you feel like you run out of options, and you're like, well, what's the other secret that I haven't found yet?
Exactly. What's the other 14 things?
What's the elephant in the room that I didn't know was the reason?
But that's part of it. Like, maybe it did work for someone, and that was the thing, and you're like, okay, that's cool. Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's not like a guarantee that it's going to work for you, but it's just that decision of. There's times where it'll frustrate you, and I think it used to get under our skin a little bit. Yeah. When it was just like, oh, did you try this? Did you put the pillow under your bum? I'll never forget that. But
that's from a previous episode. The humor one, if you want to know.
But yeah, it was just little things like that where it would get under our skin. But I think we've come to terms now where we're just like, we've done everything. We've been doing everything that we can.
Yeah, I think like that the take all too from today's topic is like that whole intuition thing, like that gut feeling. There's things that even when you're in that very clouded, even when you're so clouded, or when everything feels cloudy for you, you still at the end of the, and for us, I guess I should say for me, even if I didn't want to admit to it, there's that gut intuition that you feel no matter if it's for or against your journey, but it's just having to trust that and to do it with as much grace as you can and understanding, because I think you can get so lost so easily because we've been there, we've done that, we've experienced that, and it could happen again, and that's the fear that continues to follow us, is you just hope that you have better tools and better intuition the next time around. Before we end today's episode, this is your reminder to please follow us, subscribe where you can, leave us a comment, reach out to us, whatever it is. We'd love to hear from you guys. It's what keeps us going and keeps this podcast rolling. And I'll let Tyler take it from here.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. We will see you guys next week.